Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today is the review day of the Louis Vuitton under directorship of Marc Jacobs in collaboration with Takashi Murakami Cerisses Keepall 45 Keepall 45 bag covered up with cherries. So let's get right to it. I am all dressed up like a cherry in red for the occasion. In honor of this incredible masterpiece, because to me, it's a masterpiece. It is unlike, let's throw some shade, Louis Vuitton with Supreme. You know, Supreme is another kind of designer brand. That's what it is at the end of the day, even though it's kind of more streetwear savvy. How can you elevate something so iconic and historic as Louis Vuitton even higher than what it already is? In my personal opinion, Marc Jacobs nailed it because he would always mostly call in for collaborations artists, not other designers. So he kind of kept giving Louis Vuitton the extra layer of art rather than design. And that was the only way to elevate furthermore the brand, in my honest, modest opinion. So by calling in Takashi Murakami in particular, he nailed it, you know, with the times, with the energy, with the fun, with the verve, everything. These pieces are timeless. So Takashi Murakami added a layer, in this case the cherries, added a layer of his own artwork, not design, mind you, but art. Layered that on top of the iconic monogram canvas by Louis Vuitton, and we received or got something that is a hybrid between design and art. And in the case, and the collaboration went on for several years, but in particular, my favorite pieces are the cherries pieces from the Spring-Summer 2005 collection, because the cherries, first of all, the color is incredible, but then they nailed really the whole attitude, the whole verve of ecstatic excitement, because each one of these cherries is excited in a different way. They have little faces, eyeballs, and mouths. And it's just incredible. I don't know what to say. What I did forget to mention in my unboxing of this piece is that it also comes with its little booklet. And the little booklet explains exactly how difficult it is to produce these cherries, to print them on top of the Louis Vuitton monogram canvas. But let's first get to the size of the bag. So I have my little meter here. So it is a Louis Vuitton 45. And in fact, it's 45 centimeters long. The height, and mind you, this is the first time anybody's ever reviewing Keepall 45 on YouTube. Not a Keepall 45 Louis Vuitton in general, but a Cherries Keepall 45. The height, the highest point is 20, well, let's say between 26 and 27 centimeters. And then you got your handles as well. What I love about the Keepall in particular, or in general, can you hear me, microphone, is the fact that the leather straps here go all the way around. Now, a lot of bags that kind of resemble the Louis Vuitton Keepall would usually, they would have a cut down here. And you can notice that a lot of bags have a cut in general going through at the bottom, not Louis Vuitton Keepalls, but other bags that kind of resemble the Keepall. And then these straps would be as well cut in the middle. Or even worse, you know, they would kind of end there. Meaning that the tension, the physicality of kind of carrying something heavy inside of this bag would be indeed dangerous for the bag, because it could kind of rip if the weight would be too strong or too heavy. So that's kind of already something that makes this bag sturdy. The fact that it's one running piece of canvas throughout the entire bag, as well as one running piece of a leather strap. I did receive the address ID holder with the bag, as I mentioned in my unboxing video, and I went to the Louis Vuitton boutique to get it hot stamped with my initial on it. So we have the D for Dacob. The M and the S were already on the holder from the prior owner, because this bag is from 2005, so it's 12 years old, kept in immaculate condition for its age. So the MS is the proprietor, the first owner, but I like to believe that it's Mary Shelley. And I would like to blend and mix Mary Shelley with Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Frankenstein. But I figure, to me, it's also like M for Mr., S for Super, and the D, the big D at the bottom, is for Dacob. So the hot stamping was for free, so I did not spend 1 penny, again, still this year in 2017 for purchasing new goods. The bag is vintage, secondhand, and the hot stamping was for free. My essay was so lovely. He's also getting me that was another piece that was missing, the keychain, the little lock with the key. The lock with the key are coming as well in the same color as is the hardware. Now, the cherries, you know, the little booklet that comes with this piece explains to us how these cherries are actually printed. And back in the day in 2005, now I do believe that techniques have evolved since 2005, and I'm sure there's even better ways of doing stuff today. But what is fascinating to read in the booklet is that, the Louis Vuitton booklet that comes with the bag, is that they describe the process of printing these cherries as a 15-step process. They say that it takes a lot of work to do this because they have used an ancient tradition, and they don't go into detail, and I didn't go into detail researching it either, because I mean, if I had a workshop at home where I could do these things, I would love to know more information about it. But since, you know, the fashion banca is limited within its capacities as far as machines would go, I can't go that deep. But basically, to achieve the intensity and the saturation of these cherries and all the graduation of colors, because there's 15 colors. Wait a minute, I said 15 steps also, but they have 15 colors within these kind of 2 cherries, which is crazy. They use a technique that they use for ceramics, for like painting and creating ceramics. And they've applied that to this canvas. How that works, I do not know, because as far as I know, if you're painting on ceramics, you gotta kind of cook them, or, you know, you gotta put them in the oven. You can't put this canvas in the oven, it would melt and burn. So I don't quite know what sort of technique this is, but when you look up close to these cherries, now I'm going to probably make a close-up photo, and kind of, perhaps let's just move to the side here, and I'm going to kind of fade it in there. Let me move to the side so you could see the cherries are extremely detailed. Now, one stem of the cherry is slightly bluer than the other. That's on purpose. That's also one of the ways you could find out if or not your cerises are, you know, replica or not. But mostly there are no really replicas out there, because it's really hard to make these cherries. It was back in the day to make them so precise and perfect. Now you see every cherry has its own outline. Every cherry has its own eyeball with white and blue and a slightly miniature black dot for the pupil of the eye. The cherry has then a light pink mouth with a black frame around the mouth. The stems, as I said, one is slightly more green than the other one. Now there are other 2 cherries on small leather goods that also have a leaf on the top of the stem. Those are even more particularly different. One is literally blue and the other one is green as far as the stems are concerned, and the cherries have a slightly different face. But the cherries on the Keepall are made slightly different from the cherries, let's say, of the round coin pouch or purse. That was also available back in 2005. So then you have the tiny brown top of the little stems, and that brown top also has a black frame around it, and then you have a gradient colorway from a light beige to a darker beige, almost brown. Each cherry then has several layers of red going through it, from the lightest being the top of the cherry, where kind of the light hits on the cherry. You have almost kind of an orangey feel to it, and then it fades to a darker, gorgeous, dark, intense hue of red at the bottom of the cherry. And then we also have a slightly gloss touch to each cherry with the 2 white, they're not really, yeah, it's kind of a white, beigey white color added on each one of the 2 cherries. It almost looks like an exclamation mark. So that's as far as the cherries are concerned. The repetition of the pattern is very fascinating to me because the cherries are slightly different from so the repetition of the pattern of the cherry, and by the way, the cherries, yes, they are, as is the logo. On the back of the bag, they're upside down because we have one continuous piece of fabric. So it's not that they kind of inverted the cherry print at a certain point. The Louis Vuitton logo is like upside down in the back of the bag, but the cherries are upright. No, also the cherries in the back of the bag are upside down. So as I was saying, you can see they're upside down here, and here they're upright. As I was saying, what was I saying? I can't even remember. Oh, darn. Forgot. Cherries. Ah, yes. The pattern of the cherries. Now, this is something I've noticed, and I've been kind of calculating it millimeter-wise. And by the way, if you see a replica cherries bag, usually it's going to be the shopping tote, the Keepalls. I haven't seen a fake one yet. But if you see the shopping tote, you're going to notice that the cherries are super wonky. The stems have no frames around them. They're like the little branches, they're like acid neon green with absolutely no, and the cherries have the funniest faces. They're actually quite cute. I mean, the replicas are hilarious, but they're so obviously replicas. There's no coming close to this quality of print. Anyway, so the pattern of the cherries is, it repeats itself in the same distance, but since the distance of every cherry, of every two cherries, is bigger than the distance between every Louis Vuitton logo, what you have is a slight, by a couple of centimeters or millimeters, shift in the repetition of the pattern, which creates a very, to my eye, it creates a very, very, very pleasant layering of these patterns. So it's like two different worlds. We have the Louis Vuitton world with the Louis Vuitton logo and all of the little diamond stars, flowers. And then on top, we have another world of Takashi Murakami with the cherries. And they repeat themselves in different ways. The cherries repeat themselves the same way, as well as the logos. But since they're slightly off in the distance, you can notice, now I don't know if I could get close enough to explain to you what I mean. Let me just move the microphone as well. So for example, let's see, this cherry here, you could see the little star here, and I do hope you can see this, guys. If not, I'm sorry. But anyway, here you could see almost the entire Louis Vuitton beige star next to the cherry. But then when the cherry repeats itself here, it's already covering a bit more of the star. And then the repetition here again, the cherry covers even more of the star. And so on and so forth. Here, almost the entire star is covered by the cherry. So we have this kind of overlapping of patterns that literally goes, that goes, like the cherries are there, the Louis Vuitton logos are tighter together there. And so as they repeat each other, they shift. And that's something that, to my eye, because there is no pure symmetry going on, and there is no pure, it's always slightly off. And the fact that it's slightly off attracts me even more to look at it, because I constantly try to figure out patterns. I mean, that's perhaps just me, because I am that way. I always see forms and shapes everywhere. But in this case, it's super fascinating to me and attractive. And I just keep looking at them because they kind of trick me. They constantly trick me. Anyway, let's open up the bag and see what's inside. So inside, I've stuffed the bag, basically, to keep it nice and when I don't use it, I'm going to lose the chair again. When I don't use the bag, I stuff it with plastic bags, basically, here. And I even have like bubbles at the bottom there, like air bubble coverage to keep its shape straight at the bottom. So this one has its stamping here with the date of production. Look how clean. Oh wait, let's take everything out so you can see how beautifully clean the canvas is inside. So there you have it. You can't really see much, but super dark. Wait, let's see, maybe here from a distance, like that. Now, here we have our little sort of D-ring situation going on if you want to attach something to it. But this is what is of interest to us. Here we have our stamping. Now, this is very important, Stamping is very important. I'm probably going to have to fade in here right now a photo of it so you have a close-up look at it. The stamping is very important because of the font, because of the date it reveals to us. It is quite important when it comes to revealing replicas or not. Now, we do know that these bags were made in 2005, so already the date on the stamp is correct because we have, where is it? It's on the other side. Because we have the TH, which is production in France, and this bag was made in France, and then we have the 0025. So that is the second month of 2005. So this is a February 2005 production. So now we're in February. So actually it's 12th birthday. Oh, anyway. The tag here reveals that it is made in France. And underneath it, this is impossible to see. It's almost hard to see with the bare eye. Underneath the tag, we have the 45 kind of like pressed into the tag that states that this is a Keepall 45. So this is how it looks empty. It kind of falls, poor thing. I've seen the most dreadful photos of this bag online. The most disgusting, tasteless looking images of Paris Hilton going out of her house dressed in her, I don't know what, Juicy Couture, whatever, and using this bag as kind of a gym bag. Or there's also a picture of Kim Kardashian. You know, when you see those pictures, you don't want this bag anymore, and that's the devastating kind of part about this whole thing. Like, she's wearing it with a vintagey looking Chanel bag, and I think she had like nude pumps. I don't know, too much makeup. It was a mess, and I was looking at her and thinking to myself, oh God, this bag looks so cheap now. So I'm trying to kind of give it back its give it back the respect that it deserves. And since there are no reviews of this bag on YouTube, I thought, what the heck, let's go for it. And I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If there's anything else you want to know about it, let me know, because I think I've covered mostly everything there is to cover. Another note, the Keepall 45 in Cerises or cherries did not come with a bandolier. So there is no version that was ever produced that actually carries here on the side the leather strap with a kind of a shoulder or crossbody option to wear it. This bag was only made this way as kind of handheld version. Now you can, of course, this is a very small opening. It's pretty hard, and I don't want to damage my leather jacket by kind of cutting it through the zipper, but you can't really wear it like this. I mean, you could, but it's a bag that literally goes like that. You gotta kind of carry it as you go, or like I just did before here on the back like that. You could kind of just walk around and be like, hey, I got my cherry. I got my cherry popped. Today my cherry got popped. No pun intended. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have fun popping your cherries. Nasty Dacob. Bad Dacob. See you very soon, I hope. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Share this video if you liked it. Let me know all sorts of things in the comment section down below. And as I said before, no matter where and how the cherry pops, and no matter how far away from the tree it falls, we never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.